Welcome to the UGC EPG Pathshala lecture series in computer science. In this series of lectures, we have been looking at database management system. This session I will be continuing on the client server databases. The learning objectives of today's session include to introduce on the challenges of three-tiered systems, to mention on database access on the clients, to highlight on the processing logic distribution, to refer to some of the security issues in client server systems. As we have looked into three-tiered architecture, where for every tier of the application logic I have been assigning one specific tier, wherein client does only input output or presentation alone, processing will be done at the application server, and storage will be taken care at the storage server level, database server level. Because of creation of three-tiered architecture, there seems to be a lot of challenge associated with it. One of the challenge of the three-tier architecture include high short-term cost, where the presentation component must be split from the process component. This requires more programming. If the client is responsible for doing all the presentation and the programming at the client level itself, then client is taking the entire responsibility. Then the system becomes generic at the client's level, whereas if the same has to be stored as a application server, then the processing will be taken care by the application server, then it cannot be generic. I can do my specific applications also. So because of which presentation component is split from the processing component, and client handles only the presentation component, application server handles the processing component, thereby reducing the cost to a major extent in a long term. Not only that, to perform these things on a server, the client might have to be equipped in terms of tools, training and experience. So they currently lack development tools and training programs, and people experienced in the technology may not be able to access all the applications and be able to write the business logics to the server, get it back from the server. Not only that, this might lack incompatible standards also. Many standards are yet to be proposed when in connection with three-tiered systems, and these systems are lack of compatibility as an end user tools. Many end user tools such as spreadsheets, report generators do not yet work through the middle tier services yet. So how does the database access from the client applications? So partitioning the environment to create either a two-tiered system or a three-tiered system or an entire architecture. This entire architecture introduces web server also on top of the application server. Means that decisions must be made about the placement of processing logic. That is, I am trying to divide the environment either as two-tiered architecture or three-tiered architecture or an entire architecture. Decisions are to be made at appropriate level. Say presentation logic, what is to be selected, what is to be given as input will be decided by the client, what is to be processed and how it is to be processed will be decided at the business logic server, and what is to be fetched out from the database and database what is to be stored and retrieved will be the entire responsibility at the database server level. So everybody is given their own responsibility. In each case, storage logic, that means the database engine, is handled by the server and presentation logic is handled by the client. If you look at this particular system, this is a two-tiered architecture system where the processing logic can be either at the client or at the server or at both. If you look at that, server looks after only the storage logic, client handles the processing logic and the presentation logic. This we have represented as fat client. That means almost like 80% of the job will be taken up by the client, only 20% of the job, that is at the storage, will be taken at the server level. Or otherwise, for a thin client, storage logic, processing logic will be done at the server. This will be a two different server. One is for database logic, the storage logic, I will be storing it in a database server. For processing logic, I will be using an application server. Only for presentation, I will be using the help of a client. Whereas in case of a distributed systems, the storage logic and the part of the processing logic will be done at the server. Processing logic, few of the processing logic in terms of writing data processing, in terms of writing business logics will be done at the client's end. Not only that, presentation will also be taken at the client's end. Even at the processing logic level, it can be distributed. Some of the storage logic might include Oracle, Solaris, SQL StarNet, TCP/IP for connectivity purpose. This can be handled at the database server level. And application server level for the processing logic like application services, SQL.NET, Tuxedo, TCP/IP and Solaris will be done at the processing logic level. At the presentation logic, I will be writing programs through C++, Tuxedo, TCP/IP and my operating system. So if you look at the client is responsible of the presentation logic, and that too any program that is being written from the presentation logic level will be responsible of the client side. And almost all the three layers takes up the network connectivity. So since it is getting connected through a local area network, TCP/IP is included at all levels. Whereas I can distribute on the processing logic also in terms of application server and as a web server, depending upon the availability and the level of processing. Similarly, for database processor, for writing database storage logics, I will be using the help of the tools like Oracle, Solaris, SQL.NET. An application server for app server, SQL.NET, Solaris, and for web server I will be using HTTP, CGI, Common Gateway Interface, TCP/IP, my operating system and app server API, application programmers interface. And for client I will be looking at the browser, HTTP, network connectivity and the operating system. So the important thing that we may have to note from this, either I can work at the three-tiered level or at the entire level. Today's architecture is majorly on the entire. Why? Because at the client's end I might be using a different browser. Many a times I may not have browser compatibility. So then I will look at, my web server will look at what are the browsers that which the client might want to use. Accordingly I might change my settings at the web server level, and anything that is created as an application program that will also be handled at the web server level. Not only that, at the application server I will be doing the business logics, I will be writing most of the queries, and that will also be taken to the client. And at this database storage server logic I will be looking after the Oracle, Solaris and anything that is responsible of storage and retrieval. So this represents a clear link between a three-tiered and an n-tiered architecture, where the processing logic will be at the application server or at the web server. So any system that we are about to create, a common threat will happen. So for that we may have to give a clear level of security. So this client server architecture also needs to have a clear security. Network environment has complex security issues. Networks susceptible to breaches of security through eavesdropping, unauthorized connections or unauthorized retrieval of packets of information, flowing around the network. Anybody who is trying to intrude because of unauthorized connectivity and unauthorized retrieval can also take in data which should not be permissible at the client server level. Specific security issues include system level password security, both at the client and at the server level. So username and password for allowing access to the system, password management utilities can be given. At the database level, password security is to be provided for determining access privileges, whether the person who is authorized to use the server is only permitted to read or write or insert or delete kind of privileges. So whatever privileges that he is being supported with, the database level security will look after that. And secure client server communication via the network connectivity, that cannot be encrypted. So encryption, but encryption can negatively affect also. Secure client server communication, where anything that is to be connected to a network, there can be a packet loss, there can be unauthorized accesses. So I will encrypt on all the data which is moving from the client's end to the server's end, and at the same time this encryption can also affect the performance. After looking at the client server architecture, now that we will look at parallel computer architecture. The parallel computer architecture has got the ability to handle high transaction volumes, complex queries and new data types, and this has proven to be problematic in many uniprocessor environments. RDBMS and SQL lend themselves to parallel environment in two different ways. One, in most of the queries, SQL acts as a non-procedural set processing language. This means that queries can be divided into parts, each of which can be run on different processes simultaneously. It is not that within one processor I might get all the results that I desire to get. So the query gets split and it goes to two different servers or two different machines, and from them I can get a result. Multiple queries can be run in parallel on parallel process. So for the above two processing, here comes the example. If you look at a common system, I give query 1 which enters CPU and I give query 2 which enters another CPU, whereas in case of this is supposed to be a parallel transaction that is happening, but these are for two different queries. But one query that can be sent to two different CPUs by dividing that query into subqueries. So one of the subquery enters CPU, other subquery enters another CPU, and the resultant of which will be joined and will be fed to the client. So to look at this type of, to arrive at this type of architecture, we may have to understand two different systems. One is called a tightly coupled system and the loosely coupled system. Whenever we are talking about a tightly coupled system, I can give a simple example. If I am to access on a student database completely, if student database need to be accessed, if I don't have a primary key which we were talking about in the basic relational database management system, in certain cases I might have to give a complete information about a student, like student name, student address, student date of birth, student class, branch and all the other details. So for fetching out a specific record from the database, if I am to provide almost all the records which will completely give me the positive result, then it means the system is tightly coupled. Whereas in case if I have introduced for every record of all the above mentioned attributes, if I store one specific value which is called student ID, and any client which refers to the student ID can fetch all the records back from the database, then it means it is loosely coupled. So to build up a very good architecture, most of the researchers might prefer a loosely coupled system rather than designing a tightly coupled system. So a tightly coupled multiprocessor systems have a common shared memory. So there will be a common memory which almost all the machines will try to access among all processes, and these are often called symmetric processing environments. symmetric processing architectures. So some of the advantages of going with a common shared RAM, a single copy of operating system resides in the shared memory, and all the client takes up the entire work. Processing will be done at the symmetric processor itself, multiprocessor itself. Only the result will be given at the requested clients. But then this might give a lot of bottleneck or lessen compared to uniprocess systems, because all processes are shared all tasks. Useful for situations where data must remain in memory during processing to achieve the desired performance level, but potential problems of contention for shared memory might also exist. On the other hand, compared to the tightly coupled systems, if you handle with loosely coupled environments, as with tightly coupled system we called it as a symmetric multiprocessor environment, whereas loosely coupled architecture are also called massively parallel processing environment. It is abbreviated as MPP. These are systems where CPU has its own RAM space. So every machine has its own RAM space, and any process that needs to be connected will not be connected directly to the memory. So it requires a copy of the operating system to be resident in the dedicated memory. So any machine that wants to connect to the server, it takes the entire data that is requested from the server, stores it at its level, it takes a copy from the server, it processes at its end. So less problems with memory contention allows more scalability, and this is easier to add nodes incrementally than symmetric multiprocessor environment. So this is one of the parallel processing architecture that we have seen. If you look at this architecture is for a tightly coupled scenario where all the CPUs will share a common memory. So the RAM of all the CPUs will reside on this shared space, and CPU has got its data that is to be requested by the client. So it will come to a common pool when the client requests, and most of the processing will be done at the shared memory level itself. CPU will just transfer, this is a bus connectivity, CPU will just transfer all its data to a shared memory and then it will be processed. In connection to a loosely coupled system where through the bus connectivity to a CPU, every CPU has got a memory space associated with it. This is a RAM, and every request will get processed at the RAM level itself, and this has got its own memory. Every client once having requested, those will be taken up from the CPU to the memory for processing, and which will be given back to the clients for further level. For this processing logic distributions, as I was mentioning, between 3-tiered and n-tiered architecture, in case if there is a request from the client, then the request is being taken to the web server for it to get executed, and the web server in turn gives it to the application server, which has all the business logics. I can refer to one of the traveling booking ticket for traveling purposes. In case if I am requesting from the client's end, if I am requesting for a travel from one station to the other station on a specific date, mentioning the number of person who is about to travel, then it is immediately taken to the web server. Web server will handle my request and it will list me with all the possible details or all the possible flights or trains or bus that is available on a particular date. But apart from that, I wish to include few other details. Hint me with either the time, I can travel onward journey between 6 to 10 and return journey after 9 to 12 on a specific date, then the query gets refined. So this seems to be the business logic that is applied to the application server, not at the web server level. Not only that, I can either talk in terms of the time or I can also talk in terms of the cost. Say in terms of the cost, if I say I wish to travel on a specific day, but then the budget should be this much. So I can filter out on the query aspect of it. The query that I have posted will directly get into the application server, but then few of this information will be given to the web server and few other information will be given to the application server, which will be parallelly processed at the business logic layer. So once after it is getting done, this information will be given back to the client as requested. So any client which takes up this process, the query that this person or the query that the client is about to provide will be subdivided into two different subqueries. One of the query will be given to the web server, the other query will be given to the application server, like the business logics that we have provided might reside in the application server, and most of the other queries like data processing and other things will be given at the web server. So both the requests will be concurrently executed or parallelly executed. These requests will be sent back within a limited time back to the client for next level of work. In summary, in this particular session we have looked at the challenges of three-tiered architecture systems. Then we have looked at the client server security, which are major threats like unauthorized access to the client server machines. Not only that, before we talked about parallel computer architecture, we have hinted on the tightly coupled and the loosely coupled architectures, where in a symmetric multiprocessor environment most of the machines will be connected to the network or connected to the memory through a tightly coupled system, and in case of multiprocessor environments this drawback has been brought down, and it is all loosely coupled system by which every CPU has its own memory for processing capability. Thank you.